So, Foo Fighters made a comedy horror film, and I want to talk about it. Welcome to Later Reviews. Today's episode is Studio 666. And this is going to be a very brief talk about this film, because I don't see a reason to really dwell on it too much. It's not a complete train wreck, but it's not a great film. I should start off saying I have no love for Foo Fighters. I've never been a fan of their music, but I also never hated on their music, so I'm very neutral in this. I just wanted to watch a horror movie or a comedy horror film. I heard about this movie. I thought that might be worth checking out. It's about the band, the Foo Fighters. They have a writer's block for their 10th album. They feel like they need to do something special for the 10th album, but they don't have any ideas how to write the new music. The main character is Dave Grohl, the lead singer of Foo Fighters, so it's also him who is in the film most responsible for coming up with music. Because of this writer's block, the director or manager of the record label, played by Larry Davis' friend in Curb Your Enthusiasm, I forgot his name, but this overweight guy. It's actually nice to see him in this movie. I really miss him. I wish he was in more stuff because he's such a good actor when he really gets a role to chew on. He is frustrated that they have this writer's block and sends them to this abandoned house that has not been in use since the late 90s or since some point in the 90s, where a band was murdered there. Only that he doesn't tell the Foo Fighters about that story. And while at this house, the band tries to write new music. They kind of fail until Dave Grohl walks into the scary basement and in there finds demonic inspiration for writing this new song, this new epic, demonic, mind-blowing song, music that has never before been heard. This song has to be longer, it has to be infinite. He keeps adding things to it. He needs everything to be connected, while this demonic force is slowly taking over his body. All that might sound good on paper. I will not say much more about it because I think that's actually what you need to know about the plot. That sounds cool. A band member gets possessed to write the devil's music and people getting killed. That is actually quite similar to a lot of good 80s horror movies I've seen, even 90s horror movies. It sounds like good rock metal horror. What could go wrong? The fact that this is a comedy horror is what goes wrong. Foo Fighters are not comedians. In many ways, this feels like a home movie. The people making it thought was hilarious, but where everybody else thinks that, well, this joke, you need to know the people very well. You need to be there to find it funny. Some jokes are funny as a concept, but not really the way they are actualized in the movie. There is one where one of the band members apparently slept with someone else's grandma.
She loves me. You remember the Hanukkah party? Oh, yeah. Come here, Grandma. Touch it, touch it. Yeah, Mommy's not gonna know. Stay away from my puppy!
That could make for a funny joke. It just isn't. A lot of it is just saying, woo, what did I just say? Oh, ooh, I'm just wacky. Or, ooh, I just sleep on the table in the kitchen. It feels like the most bare-bone comedy from maybe 2005, 2008. It is really not good. There is one joke that did make me laugh, and that's when David Grohl has found the demonic tape and he's invented L sharp, and he has to teach the other players to play L sharp on the guitars.
What key is this in? L sharp.
That's actually a funny scene. That is a funny joke. But most other attempts at comedy fail. And before he finds the demonic tape, I think that's the first 20-30 minutes of this movie, it's actually very miserable. I hated watching it. I thought it was the worst comedy ever. It does have some characters it likes to throw in that, hey, it has Kerry King, and when Kerry King is in the scene, it's playing Slayer-like music, so that's kind of cool. It has John Carpenter coming in and helping them make the music. Also, he worked on some of the music for the film. That's cool. Always love to see John Carpenter. It has Will Forte, who might be the only professional actor in this film, which is, I don't know, I don't have a big problem with Will Forte. I don't really like his character in this film, but it's okay. Where I will give it credit, the gore, the kills, they're really good. Like, that's maybe, like, it's not S tier, but it's very close to, like, it's the upper echelon of gore and kills in movies. They are fun, they're inventive, they are visceral. At one point, a couple having sex, a chainsaw goes through the woman's head and up into the man's head, and he chops them up, and then you just see the bodies fall apart. Very visceral stuff, but for anyone who likes gory movies that really focus on kills, modern slasher movies basically, or old school slasher movies but with modern techniques, this might have what you need. It has some really good kills, and it also has some really cool visuals every now and then. I mean, much of it does look very cheap, but then it has some cool demons. It has some cool designs. It has some cool ideas. It actually has a lot of things that kind of work about it. I mean, if you look at the script, if you look at the plot, it's a very basic plot. Something that could go wrong or something that could be amazing. Either way, where does this movie end up? It's not good. It has, again, amazing kills. I think actually if you could find a compilation of just all the kills in this movie, you might enjoy that if you like that kind of stuff. If you want a comedy movie, a good comedy, a good horror comedy, this is not it. It really isn't. If you're a big fan of Foo Fighters, maybe you would love this, but because maybe you would be more in on some of the jokes. Then again, it actually might be so bad that you would become less of a fan after watching it. Anyway, that's all I want to say about this film. It's kinda okay, but not really. Probably you shouldn't watch it. I hope you found this interesting, useful, whatever. Just wanted to talk about this little movie after I discovered it. It's not completely new, but it's also not that old, so yes. Might still be fresh for some of you. Maybe you haven't heard about it before. Now you have. So yeah, bye. Go out and watch some good movies or watch some bad ones. But don't blame me for the bad ones. Unless I recommended the bad ones to you, then do blame me. And I do apologize in that case. Anyway, bye. It actually has a lot of things that kind of work about it.